Why are these cities in the United States not the same as they were before? What occurred to these cities that led to their downfall? Today, in this video, we will delve further into the subject. So let's look at the real reasons for this. 1. Gary, Indiana. The United States Steel Corporation built Gary, Indiana, an industrial city on the southern bank of Lake Michigan, in 1906. It immediately became a significant steel production center, drawing thousands of workers from around the country. However, Gary, like the steel industry, declined in the second half of the 20th century. The closing of companies and the subsequent loss of jobs resulted in a massive departure of citizens, leaving behind a landscape of abandoned buildings and economic hardship. Gary currently faces challenges such as high crime rates, unemployment, and a lack of investment in infrastructure. 2. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, located on the Arkansas River, was once a bustling commercial and trading town. It was a significant transit hub for steamboats and railroads, allowing products and people to move about the region more easily. However, in recent decades, Pine Bluff has encountered a slew of issues, including a loss in manufacturing and an increase in poverty and crime. The closure of manufacturing and enterprises has resulted in a loss of employment and population, leaving a city fighting to revive its economy and attract investment. Pine Bluff's revitalization efforts have been hampered by challenges such as poor infrastructure and insufficient money for economic development programs. 3. Port Arthur, Texas. Port Arthur, Texas, on the Gulf Coast, was once a vibrant port city with a strong oil sector. It was a key shipping terminal for petroleum products, processing crude oil from surrounding oil fields and transferring it to global markets. However, as oil prices fluctuated and environmental worries increased, Port Arthur began to collapse. The shutdown of oil refineries and chemical facilities was a major blow to the local economy, resulting in widespread unemployment and poverty. Today, Port Arthur is notorious for its abandoned structures, dirty rivers, and impoverished population. Efforts to diversify the economy and recruit other sectors to Port Arthur have met with minimal success as the city continues to deal with the legacy. 4. Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi's capital city, has a rich history that dates back to the Civil War. It was a major transportation and manufacturing center in the 19th and 20th centuries, with businesses ranging from cotton mills to furniture production. However, Jackson has encountered various issues in recent years, including high crime rates, poverty, and a shrinking tax base. Many areas are in decline as a result of business closures and the departure of middle-class families, with abandoned homes and boarded-up stores becoming increasingly widespread. Efforts to reinvigorate Jackson's economy have been hampered by factors such as a lack of investment in infrastructure, limited access to funding for small firms, and a scarcity of affordable housing. 5. Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan, located along the Flint River, made national headlines in 2014 when it was discovered that the city's water supply was tainted with lead. The Flint water crisis highlighted the city's underlying difficulties, such as poverty, disinvestment, and limited access to essential supplies. The closing of General Motors operations in the 1980s and 1990s was a major blow to Flint's economy, resulting in widespread unemployment and poverty. Flint continues to face tremendous issues, including high crime, poverty, and economic distress, political infighting, fiscal limits, and a lack of collaboration across government departments have impeded efforts to address the city's challenges. 6. East St. Louis, Illinois. East St. Louis, Illinois, right across the Mississippi River from St. Louis, Missouri, was once a bustling manufacturing hub. It served as a major manufacturing and transportation hub, with businesses ranging from steel to railroads. However, the decrease of manufacturing and employment losses have had a negative impact on East St. Louis, leaving behind a landscape of abandoned factories and vacant lots. High crime rates and poverty have further exacerbated the city's deterioration, driving out inhabitants and companies. Efforts to rebuild East St. Louis have been impeded by issues such as a lack of investment money, restricted access to excellent education and healthcare, and a perception that the city is hazardous. 7. Saginaw, Michigan. Saginaw, Michigan, located along the Saginaw River, was formerly a major lumber and manufacturing town. It was a major player in the lumber industry during the 19th century, delivering timber to cities throughout the Midwest and beyond. However, in recent decades, Saginaw has suffered economic issues, including as factory closures and employment losses. Today, Saginaw struggles to attract investment and restore its suffering districts, with high levels of poverty and crime adding to the city's deterioration. Attempts to address Saginaw's issues have been hampered by factors such as a shortage of affordable housing, limited job possibilities, and a reduction in public services. 8. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan, sometimes known as the Motor City, was once the core of America's auto industry. It was the origin of legendary automotive brands like Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, which fueled economic expansion and prosperity for much of the 20th century. However, the car industry's demise, as well as decades of economic downturn, have taken their toll in Detroit. The city's population has plummeted, leaving several neighborhoods as ghost towns of abandoned homes and vacant land. Despite efforts to rebuild Detroit's central region, much of the city is mired in poverty and decay. Efforts to revitalize Detroit have been hampered by issues such as a lack of investment in infrastructure, racial discrimination, and political corruption. 9. Camden, New Jersey. Camden, New Jersey, directly over the Delaware River from Philadelphia, was once a thriving manufacturing hub. It operated as a major manufacturing center for businesses ranging from shipbuilding to textiles. However, deindustrialization and urban deterioration have left Camden in decline. High crime rates, poverty, and a lack of economic possibilities have displaced citizens and companies, leaving behind a community battling to exist. Efforts to rebuild Camden have been hampered by issues such as a lack of affordable housing, a scarcity of job prospects, and political corruption. 10. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, renowned for its rich musical heritage and lively culture, has encountered its fair share of hardships in recent years. It was a major player in the cotton trade during the 19th century, thanks to its location along the Mississippi River, which made it easier to send cotton to markets worldwide. However, Memphis has suffered from high crime rates, poverty, and a faltering economy. Despite efforts to revive downtown Memphis and attract investment, much of the city is still derelict and abandoned. Efforts to revitalize Memphis have been hampered by obstacles including, as infrastructure investment is lacking, there is racial division, and public services are declining. Thank you for joining us on our tour through America's Forgotten City.